So, I'm wondering if you have thought recently or contemplated for yourself what's next. In other words, is it time to go? Is it time to pivot? Is it time to up level? Is it time to shift? You know what I mean? That uncomfortable feeling that you know that you are being either called for more or called elsewhere. And it's a little uncomfortable, but it's almost like a challenge. And I'm asking you that because I have felt that way recently too. And I'm really excited to share some news with you. But first, let me take you through the process. As you know, I've had the honor of working with some of the most prolific and influential female leaders here in San Francisco, Silicon Valley, and across the country, and their teams. And they've asked me over the years, or actually made a comment, that I wish all of the women in my organization, excuse me, could have the transformation that I'm having, and to go from being possibly silenced, overlooked, or disregarded to being and feeling heard, valued, respected, and like they're really an agent of change. And so last September, I said yes. And I partnered with a company named Rali, and I filmed the Fearless Female Leadership Enterprise Journey. And really excited after almost 6 months of curriculum design and filming and editing and this process that I didn't even know was so long. It's out into the world now, and we're going to have official launch in a couple of weeks. It's currently being placed with a couple early adopters in a consumer goods company as well as a cybersecurity company. And I'm super excited, but I have to share something with you. The decision was terrifying. Have you ever wondered what was next? And then you have an idea of you think what's next, but it's really scary. And as coaches, we go through that too. My decision was scary. The amount of time this took was scary. The amount of money that this took was scary. As a matter of fact, for my business, it did not make a whole lot of financial sense for me to make that investment at the end of last year. But I have to share that every cell in my body was screaming, yes. And so went back, took a very serious look at it, saw if I could swing it, and I could. And so I went for it. And so, I was wondering about you. Are you feeling now like, what's next for me? And again, it could be in your role. It could be something, it doesn't have to be something enormous. It could be, what's next for me is that I speak up more. What's next for me is to get paid what I feel that I'm worth. But it could be a shift. It could be a pivot. It could be something big. It could be going from, working in consumer goods to working in supply chain, or, something completely different. And so if you are at a place where that little voice keeps saying, what's next? What's next? It's time to change. It's time to pivot. It's time to up level. Then I thought I would share a couple tools and strategies directly out of the Fearless Female Leadership Journey, which, by the way, I found out about 2 weeks ago from Rali's CEO, Rich Cannon, that this enterprise journey can now be translated into 40 languages. So that's a whole nother story. And I can't wait to share that with you. But let's talk about you for a moment. There's a couple questions that you can ask yourself when you feel like it's time to make a decision about what's next, or you have that uncomfortable feeling that you need to make a shift or pivot, but you're not exactly sure what it should be, or you know what it should be, but you're a little scared like I was. The first one is, if you had a magic wand and could not fail, what would you take action on? So that's a good one to write down. If you had a magic wand and could not fail, what would you take action on? The second one is going to make you a little bit uncomfortable, as it did me. And that is, in the next 1, 2, 3, 5 years, if you were to look back on yourself today, What would you regret not doing or not trying? Okay. Now, keeping in mind that if you've been following me for a while, you will understand that the power of coaching is perspective. Myself or any other, those amazing coaches out there, we do not have the answers to what's next for you. What we do is we help with perspective and helping you to understand that the answers are already within you. And if you do have that uncomfortable feeling, it's my philosophy that you are being called for more or called for different. So those two questions can be really helpful. Also, a resource that I want to make sure that you have from the Fearless Female Leadership Enterprise Journey is a worksheet called the Get to Know Yourself Questionnaire. Now, this questionnaire, I would recommend this worksheet, that you have a cup of tea, you go somewhere where you are not going to be disturbed, you have at least 15 or 20 minutes all to yourself and a lot of quiet, and you answer these questions very honestly for yourself. That's not going to be graded. No one else has to see it. Although if you want to share it with me, I would love to see it, but you can keep it for yourself or share it. It's totally up to you. And that will help you pull back the first layer of the onion of gaining clarity of what's next. Also, I'm sharing, please have a look at the overview video for the Fearless Female Leadership Enterprise Journey. I would love to know two things from you. One is, what's the one insight or the one aha that you got from the Get to Know Yourself questionnaire? And also, I would love to know what you think about the Fearless Female Leadership Enterprise Journey. The video is about 2 minutes long. Now, keep in mind, I am cheering you on always. If I can help you personally or speak in an event, or if I can help your team in any way to gain clarity, understand, and get really crystal clear on what's next, build the confidence to back it up, and then learn how to influence up and really build FBI level strategic based influence so you can get buy-in from those in power, I would love to help any way I can. Or if you have any questions about the Fearless Female Leadership Enterprise Journey, I would love to answer them. Cheering you on always. I believe in you, and I look forward to seeing you next time.